Hey there, did you know that one of the most famous series from the early 90s was actually an American localized version of it that originated in Japan? I'm talking about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Not just them, but the Power Rangers series in a whole, and how it differs from the Japanese Super Sentai series. I know, riveting. I bet you're excited. I know I am. Anyways, let's get into it. In 1993, the first episode of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers aired, which started the Power Rangers series as a whole. That was the first series. However, it was not the first series for Japan. For Japan, the Japanese version of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was Kyoryu Sentai Zyurangers, and that came out a year before Mighty Morphin did. Also, that's the 16th installment of the Super Sentai series. They've been going since 72. Not only that, but the American one takes all the fighting scenes from the Japanese version. Every scene they're in suit, every scene they're in the robot, every scene they're fighting something, out like in their suits or whatever, is filmed in Japan. Even in the cities, you can clearly see Tokyo Tower in the background. I never noticed it as a child. Going back and looking at it, I notice it a lot now. Anyways, that's not even the biggest difference. Another big difference is the fact that the cast of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers were supposed to be teenagers in high school, while the members of the Zyurangers were a few centuries-year-old people, warriors actually, from ancient tribes who only awaken when evil's afoot. And there was afoot, because the evil witch came to life again. It's a big thing. I'm not going to get into it. Don't have time. Anyways, the difference being that the American Power Rangers got their powers from Zordon, this giant talking head, while the Zyurangers awoken with their powers, so they already had it. They awoken, went straight to business, started fighting. Big difference right there. Another difference, not involving the Zyurangers, but still involving the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, is the fact that the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers has 3 seasons. There is not one Sentai series that has more than 1 season. That is because the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers took video clips and scenes from 2 other Sentai series, added them to their new seasons, and they called it a new season. For example, in the 2nd season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they didn't steal, because all of them at the same company. They used scenes from the Sentai series Gosei Sentai Dairanger, version called Dairanger. They used scenes from there in the American one and called it Season 2. The biggest difference being that the White Ranger from Dairangers was a child. And when he turned into the White Ranger, he became an adult. In America, the White Ranger was still just a teenager. In fact, it was one of the members from the last season who lost his powers and got the White Ranger powers. They just used the suit, new scenes, that was it. The 3rd series they used different scenes from was called Ninja Sentai Kaku Ranger. In this, the 3rd season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they lost their powers and had to gain ninja powers. So they met this ninja robot named Ninjor. Really original, I know. Who gave them power. Same thing happened. Almost the same thing happened in the Japanese one, Kaku Ranger. I'm just going to call it that. In Kaku Ranger, they were just ninjas who've been training for this and finally got it. And it was a completely different series. And another big difference with the Power Ranger series and the Sentai series is actually there's this one season called Time Force, which came out in 2001, which had a few key differences from the Japanese Mirai Sentai Time Ranger. One of the biggest differences was the edit of this one scene. And that one scene was when it was the final episode and this giant ship was destroying buildings and stuff. They edited all the buildings out. Didn't happen in a city. Just didn't happen. It was usually blowing up mountains and stuff, because that scene was brought to America after 9/11. So they're like, we're not going to show that. It just happened. That's terrible. Not going to happen. which is responsible. However, if you want to see that scene, you can go find it on the Japanese one. They didn't get rid of it. But anyways, that's kind of all I have on the topic of their differences and such. You know, My Morphin Power Rangers, they were teenagers, not warriors. They picked pieces from different series and put them into new seasons, and the editing of a few scenes in Time Force. That's pretty much it. And I don't recommend watching them. No, if you didn't grow up with them, don't watch it. Don't sit through it. Don't force yourself to do that. It's not worth it. I have a nostalgic purpose. My brother and I used to do it when we were children. We used to watch it. It's whatever. Don't watch it. It's not worth the time. Anyways, that's it. I have nothing else. Bye.